Welcome to Health Policy, Organization, and Finance. This is your introduction course. I'm your instructor, Joe Zamboni. I'll be teaching the course throughout the semester. Course basics. As you know, this is a policy, organization, and finance course. Those could be viewed as distinct disciplines. However, a lot of these skills that you would find in organization and finance are really utilized by public health leaders. So someone who's in a public health leader position not only has a lot of impact over policy, but they probably are in charge of the organization and finance too. So they do overlap quite a bit. In this course, you're going to learn to critique significant health policies. I'm going to give you tools to do that. I also want you to always think about how you would approach these things in a management position. And these skills will come together in a final policy brief at the end of the course. Many students ask me, what is health policy? I've taken other policy courses. The term policy is really broad. It can refer to laws, regulations, guidelines. It can be big national policy. It can be small internal policy. You might have policies at your job, and policy can refer to that. It can also refer to Obamacare. So just try thinking of policy as any planned course of action. I'm not asking that you use it in any specific way. I just want to give a warning. A lot of people have pointed out, I learned this health policy before and now you're saying it's something different. Health policy really changes quickly. It's also common for health policy to swing like a pendulum. We do it one way, we go back and do it another way. So don't be surprised if something is a little different than what you have learned. Let's just go over the assignments for the course. There's going to be weekly discussion posts, 13 total. Those require both an original and a response post. Discussions should be about 200 to 250 words, although I'm not going to count words. The amount of words is really not important to me, but a lot of times students want kind of a benchmark, what to hit, and 2 paragraphs is really what should be there at a minimum. You're going to have one final assignment with smaller assignments that build up to it. Most of the smaller assignments are going to be 2 pages. I want to go over what the course looks like. If this is your first online course, there are some training videos that University of Vermont puts out. Mostly we will use a weekly module, and inside that weekly module you'll have multiple buttons. In those modules you'll see your required readings, probably from the text, and also others that should be linked right there. Your discussion topic. I have exploratory readings, and those are readings that are not required, but if you want to explore the topic more deeply or see something that's most recently being discussed, that's an extra tab where you can find those readings. And then if there is an assignment, there usually will be a link to where you can submit the assignment if an assignment is due that week. So this is what your front page should look like when you open it. As you can see, on the left-hand side is your navigation bar, and you can really get to everything through the course by using that navigation bar. Inside the weekly module, you'll see each week listed. I do not release them all at the same time. I know there are some students who ask to access weeks ahead of time. Please just email me and we'll talk about it. I'd like to add current content whenever I can. So usually the week before a module is released, I'm adding in some current content, which is why they aren't released. Once you open up that discussions tab on the left-hand side, you'll see a thread for introducing yourself and for questions you want me to answer that you're okay with other students seeing. But basically, everything can be accessed through this left-hand navigation toolbar. So I just want to give you a couple tips for the course. Often I'll ask if something is good policy. There's no right or wrong answer for this. I'm not looking for a specific answer if something is good policy. I just want to see that you're using analysis tools. Those can be tools that I give you throughout the course, or those can be tools that you've come up with or you've seen other places that you think are effective. Don't get frustrated with coming to a conclusion about whether or not something is good policy. The point is really to think about it and discuss. The final assignment in this course is going to be a health policy brief. That's not due till the very end of the course, so please do not worry about it yet. A policy brief is basically a policy overview. Throughout the semester, you're going to be given tools for analysis, and the policy brief is going to use those tools. You may choose a topic from a list if you need one. However, I really like this to be open so that if people are interested in certain public health topics, they can focus on that. So I will add a question to the forum whether anyone has strong feelings about this one way or another. What is a policy analysis tool? The tools I give you are really just ways to analyze policy. They're meant to help you ask yourself questions and orient yourself around a policy. For instance, cost is a great policy analysis tool. So when you look at a policy, it just reminds you to think about costs. Where are the costs? How much does this cost? Does it change the cost to the consumer? Does it change the cost to a healthcare provider? Are there costs to the government? Are there costs to states? It's just a way of thinking about how do we dissect policy. So to start out, I would say read the syllabus. Most of your questions are answered in the syllabus. Check out the rubrics, which I will be posting as things are due. The rubrics are not in the syllabus. So as always, let me know if you have questions, comments, or concerns. If it's a question you think other students can benefit from, go ahead and put it in the under the discussion tab. And if it's a question of a personal nature, feel free to email me, call me, or text me. My cell phone is listed right on the announcements page. All right. Let's have a great semester.